Ah, my child, I'm happy that you are here. I've had an idea that I wish to present to you.
Please do.
I've known the Mother Cardinal for quite some time. She is a formidable woman, gifted and diplomatically skilled. I fear that your cousin might be a little defenseless when dealing with her, and would like to give him a few weapons.
What do you have in mind?
Diplomacy is not only a matter of formal encounters and choreographed etiquette. If we had the means to action more personal leverage, the Mother Cardinal could not manipulate your cousin.
How could we ever find anything of that sort?
Everyone has nasty little secrets, my child. It's our task to discover Cornelia's.
Very well. Let's go and discover what the governor would rather keep hidden from the world.
Excellent.
How would you like to go about this?
We must search her apartments in St. Matthias. They'll be guarded, of course. But if we are discreet, that shouldn't be a problem.
This is taking quite a risk. The congregation's reputation could suffer if we're caught, and my cousin's position would be weakened.
I know. But keep in mind that I know the palace extremely well. And if we want to be sure to pass without being noticed, we need only dress ourselves up as servants.
That would improve our chances. Well, let's do it.
Ah, Your Excellency. The Enlightened must have sent you. I would like to ask a favor of you.
I'm listening.
As you may be aware, we suspected this island might be the one St. Lucius wrote about.
Did you?
We did, but let me explain. This island was where Saint Matthias lived at the end of his life, and where he founded a perfect community. Some time ago, we created a village which we called Eden, following his example. We chose this place as it seemed to be the closest to the one described in the Holy Scriptures. It is a home to a community of converted islanders, accompanied and guided in their budding faith by our theologians. As you can imagine, it is of the utmost importance to us. All the more so because we discovered some tablets there, which were engraved by our founder.
An extraordinary discovery that confirms your suspicions.
I see you understand. Alas, these tablets were stolen, probably by the islanders who still reject our influence. I know that you are generally well accepted by the natives. That is why I was hoping that you could help us to retrieve what belongs to us.
I suppose I could go to Eden and try and retrieve them.
Marvelous. The leader of the community, Father Justinius, will be able to answer your questions. May the Enlightened assist you in this holy quest, Your Excellency.
May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
This area of the palace is forbidden to visitors, by order of the Mother Cardinal.
We did not know. Please excuse us.
The basements are for servants only.
Very well. We'll go back up.
Closer. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to have a rummage around.
Do you like it here in San Mateus?
It is impossible not to like it here. The end, rumor. Goodbye. May the enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
This is a very unique place. The smell of stupor and vice reign as its masters.
You're not wrong. We should search this place. For goodness sake! This room reeks of alcohol.
And not just any old alcohol, if my nose does not deceive me. Cornelia always had great taste when it came to drinking.
It seems that someone forgot their earring.
Ugh, here is an object of more than questionable taste. A woman from a good family would never wear it. It's junk. The kind of thing a courtesan would wear.
I didn't know you were an expert on the subject, Father.
The subject of jewelry?
No, of courtesans.
We are here at the heart of human depravity. Outrageous luxury, excessively priced alcohol, obvious debauchery.
Surely this is enough to incriminate the Mother Cardinal.
No, my child. These things are common in certain circles, even in Theleme, unfortunately. Cornelia may well have organized these things for others. These parties might be of use in gaining some political favor. We must find out who is involved and learn more.
The earring that we found may help us with that. We could ask at the brothel if it belongs to a prostitute.
We should continue searching. Perhaps we missed something.
Locked.
This document is highly important. By reading it carefully, you could learn a lot. The Mother Cardinal apparently borrows large amounts of money from a moneylender. Actually, enormous sums.
What's more, she does so quite regularly. How does she manage to give it all back?
And the name Candy Cane crops up several times. Quite suspicious, don't you think?
This sweet person must be doing her huge favors to get these sums. I think we have everything we need. There is probably a connection between these pleasure parties and the account books. Let's ask a few questions.
The moneylender is well established. He can be found near the main square. As for this Candy Cane, the name doesn't ring any bells to me, but the moneylender must know more about him.
We can also go and gather information at the Coin Tavern. Perhaps the manager knows him.
Can I get you anything?
I'm here for something else. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
If you wish. What would you like to know?
What can you tell me about a certain Candy Cane?
Candy Cane? Everyone speaks about him, or has heard of him, but no one really knows him.
And what do they say about him?
Here, nothing. You need to go downstairs for that sort of thing.
To the games room and the brothel?
Yes, that's more the kind of place where they'd talk about him.
You sometimes deliver goods to your big clients, isn't that right?
Of course. The rich don't like to get drunk among mere mortals.
And have you ever supplied anyone from the palace?
Yes, that has happened. It suits them.
And who places these orders?
Well, a steward, of course. Don't you know how things work?
A woman? Dressed in a long green cloak?
No, the steward is more discreet. On the other hand, the person in the big green coat, the steward speaks to her sometimes. They know each other or work together.
Do you think that the Mother Cardinal may have ever been here?
Are you drunk or something?
I have to go. I will leave you to your work.
A feast for the eyes, ladies, and... So, have you found what you were looking for?
Let's just say that I'm gathering information.
My treasures are worth their price. I promise you that you will get your money's worth. For you, I'm sure we can make a special arrangement.
Here you are.
Thank you, my lord. I'll let you take your pick.
Thank you.
Look, a new face. Oh, but wouldn't that be... Hello, Father.
Oh, hello.
We would like to know if you know who this earring belongs to. Is it maybe yours?
Absolutely not. I am careful not to leave my belongings with clients, and I have no desire to answer your questions. That doesn't fall within my services.
Very well. Goodbye.
There are too many of you for me alone, my little lambs.
Sorry, madam, but we're here to ask other favors of you. This question might seem a little surprising, but do you know who this earring might belong to?
Why? It's mine. I lost it when... How did you get hold of it?
Are you sure you want to broach that subject here?
You're right. Come with me. Well, what do you want? Why are you giving me back my earring?
You know where we found it, don't you?
Obviously. I realized as soon as I got back that I'd lost it.
I imagine your pimp does not know that you take part in these parties. He doesn't dabble in this at all?
No. Do not say anything to him, I beg you. He's on my case enough as it is.
Then I suggest you answer my questions.
What would you like to know?
Could you tell us who you saw at the parties?
Rich people, or better. They seemed very rich and important to me. But I don't know them.
Do you know who organizes these parties?
Not really, no. A steward pays me when I go, but I don't see anyone else, apart from the clients.
You can't even give me a single name.
No. The only person who sometimes speaks to this steward is a woman who is always wearing a green coat. She never takes part in the festivities, but the steward rushes over whenever she arrives.
Do you think that an important person from Teleme could have partaken in these soirees?
You're thinking of Mother Cardinal, aren't you? You lot really think we are a bunch of degenerates.
You're hardly a shining example of virtue, my child. Just answer our questions.
Sorry, Father, I don't know the Mother Cardinal, but I strongly doubt she dabbles in that.
You don't think you could recognize her, and you don't think you've crossed paths. What a testimony. Admit it, you must know more than you're letting on. It's virtually impossible not to recognize someone while being so close to these influential people, wouldn't you agree?
Well, I was able to recognize someone, once. Even with a mask on, I'm good at recognizing my clients.
Please continue. I'm all ears.
I don't want to implicate anyone, but he is of no real importance, and you've probably never even heard of him. It's the local moneylender.
I know very well who you're referring to, my dear.
But I didn't mention anything to you, huh? This stays between us.
I don't even remember the subject of this conversation anymore. Do you know someone who goes by the name of Candy Cane?
Everyone does. He is a powerful person, so his name makes the rounds.
Have you ever spotted him at these pleasure parties?
In all honesty, I wouldn't even be able to recognize him. I've heard his name before, but that's all.
This woman in the green coat, could you tell me about her?
She always hides her face and never joins us. Then she disappears into a little office and locks the door.
I see. She is quite important then. Thank you for your help.
Be sure not to mention this to anyone. I'd lose my clients if they suspected me of speaking about them, you know.
protect me in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies. May the shadow engulf our enemies. May the shadow engulf our enemies. Your armor is falling apart. I am wounded. May the enlightened come. May the enlightened protect me in this battle. Your armor is falling apart!
Can I get you it? Look who it is.
I'm looking for a woman who comes here. She always wears a long green coat.
Yes, I have seen this coat before, but I have no idea who is beneath it, if that's what you're asking. All I know is that I've seen her speaking to a regular, a steward of the palace who comes to place big orders. Always prime choice.
I have to go. I will leave you to your work. Good day.
Welcome. You here to wager? To fight?
I imagine that the name Candy Cane rings a bell.
Obviously. Even though I would prefer it wasn't the case. He's a sort of organizer. He captures most of the beasts who fight in the arena.
How is that a problem?
Apparently, he's fixed a few fights. These kind of rumors aren't good for my business.
If that's the case, why don't you stop him?
He has friends, protectors. Without solid evidence, no one will lift a finger. And the only ones who wanted to speak of his cartel have disappeared.
Do you know where I can find him?
He often hangs out around the port at night, but I strongly advise you to stay away from the guy.
I know how to look after myself. Thanks for the information. I'm looking for someone. A woman wearing a big green coat.
Yeah, I know who you mean. She's a good client. She comes in, especially for the big fights, and she has prime information.
Do you know where I can find her?
No, I don't even know her name.
She wouldn't happen to be coming back to collect some winnings, would she?
No, and I can't really tell you when she'll show up next.
I must be going.
Next time, then.
Can I help you?
Yes, actually. I have a small favor to ask.
You don't look like you need money from me.
I'll get straight to the point. I have bad news for you. I know about the decadent parties at the palace. I know that you take part in them.
What? But what are you talking about?
Stop acting all innocent. I have all the evidence I need to incriminate you. Although your reputation isn't spotless, there are others who have a lot more at stake than you. What if I were to spread it around town that you boast about being there? You know what happens when tongues wag too much.
That's enough. All right, I get the message. What do you want?
Tell me about Candy Cane.
We're not close, if that's what you want to know. I just know his name, like everyone else. I mean, there are some rumours. They say he does his business in the basement of the Coin Tavern.
What kind of business?
Oh, nothing to do with my line of business. He deals in arena fights, which would be on me.
It would appear that you know the Mother Cardinal very well. I know that she borrowed money from you. I even know how much. What I want to know is why.
I have no idea. Do you really think that my clients tell me everything about their lives?
Does she still owe you money?
No, she always pays me back on time, and with interest.
Do you think she's plundering the city funds?
Ha! If that were the case, the funds would have been depleted long ago. Nah, the money's coming from elsewhere.
I would advise you to keep all of this to yourself.
I don't want any trouble. I will be as silent as a stone.
So, how do you see things, my child?
I think that the usurer is lending money to the Cardinal, and very significant sums at that. With this money, she bets on the arena fights while hiding in a big green coat. And she also gives large amounts to a certain candy cane, known for fixing fights.
Not only does our dear Cornelia love betting games, but she also wouldn't think twice about cheating to win.
Maybe he's just giving her advice. How can we prove anything?
We can always try asking him. Who knows? Perhaps he will give us an answer.
Protect me in this battle!
Here comes our pay, boys! Here comes our pay, boys!
Protect me in this battle!
Good evening. Are you the one they call Candy Cane?
Who are you?
De Sardet, legate of the merchant congregation.
A legate, no less. I imagine in these cases, the one accompanying you is the famous Petrus.
You seem to be very well informed. Therefore, you might be able to answer my question. What do you know about a woman in a green coat?
Why would I tell you?
We know that you have business with this woman, and that she is actually the Mother Cardinal.
How did you... You would be better off forgetting that.
That's not exactly the response I'd imagined. But nevertheless, seems rather eloquent.
I told you to forget about it, or you'll soon run into trouble. Legate or no legate.
Come on, it was just an innocent little conversation. Goodbye, Mr. Kane.
Bye. And Godspeed.
We have enough information.
Really? Is the fact that she bets on fights that are potentially fixed enough for you?
It's already a huge scandal. Let me just think about it for a little while. I will find a way of putting this information to good use.
I have faith in you, Father.
My dear child, what can I do for you?
I'll see you later, Father.
Take care, my child.
Karantz, do you need something?
I've never heard...
He was the donor.
What happened to him?
He was killed. My mother, anything else?
I must leave you. What an astounding place.
My mother told me about this place. She said that the village was devoured by the houses of the sons. How could their chief accept this?
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. De Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
I wonder how my people could accept the priests settling in their home like this.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence. Father.
I'm glad to see you, my child. What can I do for you?
Tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vixenagad, which translates to the village of the old sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So, we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
Tell me about how you created...
and so...
I must leave.
May the enlightened...
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matthias is conducted.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas. I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us. Or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Mateus later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to, but I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings, and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of St. Mateus. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful. Thank you. I will let you work. Greetings. Desarde. I am handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here. And the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove St. Mateus lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things. Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Ptolemy, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here, I understood that my real mission was with the islanders. We must bring the light to this island.
How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about St. Matthias, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. Most stubborn against our teachings, the warriors, and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. They eventually left, and it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course. I will leave you to your work.
Hello. I am Lair, the village leader. Well, I was the leader of this village.
Hello. Desade. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onolmanawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Teleme, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthias, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. I asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course, and the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men, perhaps wiser than they are.
I have to go. Father.
I'm glad to see you, my child.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries. There are still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
Why share this
to by but no.
I must leave you.
May the enlightened...
I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
The priests separated this village into two parts. The exiles must be broken-hearted, having left their clan behind.
On the other hand, had they followed their chief's example, this wouldn't have happened. Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur. There is only one entrance and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
This priest, Virgil, said that the night was calm. So calm that he probably fell asleep. So, the thieves only had to take the key from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened. But someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
You think that the one who told them is in this village?
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives who were forced to leave here. They must still have allies in the village, family or friends. We should go talk to the chief of the natives. He will certainly know who is close to the exiles, and enough about the researchers to inform them.
You have returned on Almanawi. Do you need something else?
I think I know who stole the tablets.
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because the missionaries forced them to leave. They must have taken the tablets with the help of someone else who stayed here.
You may be right, but you may also be wrong.
You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have, how do you think they will interrogate you?
You're probably right. The Inquisitors would come back, and my people would suffer. I do not want to break the peace that I did all I could to make. I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwal. She helps the priests who seek the old sage.
If she's helping the priests, why would she betray them now?
Her son is one of the warriors who had to leave the village. He is filled with anger and fury. If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her. She is but a mother who acted according to her son's wishes.
I have no intention of hurting her, but things may not be so simple when it comes to her son. I have to go.
Lloyd.
Greetings. Are you Vindwal?
Birdtear Tumad. Yes, that is me. What do you want?
What can you tell me about Lair, your former leader?
He is a man of peace. Some people dislike him, not me. Everything he did to save the village. But I think the mind shakers made him forget what we are. He almost speaks like them now.
Listen, I know you helped the exiles to steal the tablets of Saint Matthias.
No, this is not true. It wasn't me.
There's no point in denying it. I know you did it for your son who had to leave the village.
If you know that, then you know that I don't have the tablets. So what do you want from me?
Tell me where the exiles are. I must retrieve these tablets.
You're asking me to betray my son. Promise me that you won't hurt him.
I promise. But if he reacts violently, I'll have to defend myself.
Then I hope he'll be reasonable. Bran and the others are hiding in the woods, beyond the circle of stone.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Daram!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Close to it, Nestiri.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Things are about to get dicey! Things are about to get dicey!
Here's the place that Vindwal indicated. The exiles must be near.
I hope you don't intend to fight them. They've already had to leave their families and their homes. They've suffered enough.
Don't worry, we'll be discreet.
Remember that we were told the area on the left was a trap. It would be smarter to take the other path.
Do it! What are you doing here?
I'm not here to fight you, but I must retrieve the tablets of Saint Matthias.
What? How do you know we have them? And how? Not Freddy. We will not give them back! We lost our homes and families, so the priests lose their sacred stones.
I know that you are seeking vengeance, but the priests will not be the only ones to suffer the consequences of your actions. Your mother helped you, and once they find out about it, she will pay the price in your place. Is that what you want?
They will not suspect her. She's helping them in their research. And even if they found out, they wouldn't hurt her. You are wasting your time.
Perhaps I could do something for you in exchange for the tablets.
You are a Renaigse. You cannot help us.
I am also an Onol Manawi. So?
We want to join the Sengeden Anadas, Deirdre's clan. But she only accepts warriors, and not all of us are warriors. Give us a family and a home, and we will give you back the priest's stones.
Very well. I will go and see her. I hope that we manage to convince Deirdre.
So?
I haven't had the time to take care of it yet.
You survived. Which must mean, alas, that one of the Nadaig is with us no longer. You are a great warrior. You could almost be a storm warrior. What do you seek?
You set a trap for us, invoking and releasing that creature.
It is true. And the Nadaig is indeed one of the faces, a spirit of the Isle. I was hoping that you would disappear. The swamps do not like to give back those who enter. You have seen things that no stranger to our clan has ever seen. Secrets that no one must know. But you survived. You are strong. I should not have thought you so weak.
The ritual. This is how you prepare the blood sap.
What are you talking about, Siora?
No one knows the recipe. But it is the very barm that allows her warriors to enter into a trance, and to rise again when they have fallen.
It is true. You do not know the ingredients, but you know now how the blessing works. I have nothing more to give you than my excuses, and that you keep to yourself all that you have seen. You are a brave Onol Manawi, and I would like to request your help.
You request my help after sending me on a suicide mission?
You helped us to find the camp of the Soul Lasser, and you have proven your valor fighting the Nadaig. So yes, I am asking for your help in saving the people who are suffering in this camp.
What do you intend to do exactly?
Attack and destroy this camp, and those who live in it, to set my people free.
And how am I supposed to help you?
My clan is powerful, but so are these Soul Lasser. I need more warriors. Eseld of the Gaius Rad is in my debt, but I'm afraid she might refuse to honor it after her clan was defeated. You know how to talk to people, and you are friends with her twin sister. I would like you to go and convince her to help me.
I suppose I could try at least.
That would be good. It would also be good if you could fight alongside us to set these prisoners free. Meet us near the camp with the forces you managed to assemble. What do you seek?
I come on behalf of the exiles of Vig Sonegad. They'd like to join your clan.
Some already have done. The others should just do like them and undergo the trials of the warriors.
But not all of them are warriors.
We're about to go to war. Those who do not know how to fight have no place amongst the Sengeden Anadas.
Siora.
Why do you refuse to welcome the exiles? They want to fight the Renaigse, just like you.
Why do you not welcome them amongst the Gaius Rad, if you have so much compassion for them?
It is your clan they want to join, not mine.
Make them change their mind. I will not change mine.
I implore you to reconsider, Deirdre. Though they may not all be fighters, these people will know how to make themselves useful in your village.
Very well. You have helped us, and I trust in your judgment. You can tell the exiles that I'm waiting for them. Anything more? You must go talk to Iselde and convince her to fight alongside us. Because without her men, the battle will be tough. Anything more?
I need to be going.
Well,
I'm glad I managed to convince her. Now we'll be able to retrieve the tablets, and the exiles will have a clan once more.
We should go and see the Mother Cardinal. It is her Inquisition, after all. If she finds out afterwards that we went to fight them without even informing her first, she might take offense.
So, what did Deirdre say?
She accepted to welcome you all into her clan.
I did not think that you'd manage to convince her. You can take the tablets.
Thank you. I hope that you'll be happy in your new family.
Ad Loredar. And you were right. You are more on Olmanawi than Renaigse.
What are you doing here?
I was worried for my son. I wanted to make sure that everything was fine.
Yes, everything is fine. He has joined the Sengeden Anidas and he gave me the tablets.
Really? What about the others? Those who are not fighters? I thought that Deirdre did not want them.
I managed to convince her to accept all of the exiles.
I thank you for helping them. It is reassuring to hear that they are in a new clan.
I retrieved your relics.
Thank you. Thank you immensely. Thanks to them, we will be able to continue our research on St. Matthias.
I am curious to know who is responsible for this theft. The culprit must be brought to justice.
I do not want to point the finger at anyone. You have your relics back, and that's the only thing that matters.
Your indulgence honors you. But how can we be certain that these thieves will not strike again if they are not punished?
Had you respected this village, you would not have to look for a culprit. You settled here without even asking those who lived here for their opinion on the matter. Instead of talking about harmony, start taking action to really make it happen.
But that is precisely what we desire more than anything. We may have been a bit clumsy in the beginning, but we'll make sure to improve things in the future. You really were a great help. I would be most grateful if you agreed to continue helping us.
I might come back at some point, but alas, I'm very busy.
Naturally. Either way, we are certainly capable of continuing our research without you.
Actually, I must go back to my work. Our next expedition must depart as soon as possible.
Your next expedition?
Our brave researchers must continue to follow the tracks of our founder on this island. In the meantime, here, take this as a token of gratitude for the help you gave us.
Thank you. I hope your expedition will be a success.
Oh, there you are, Your Excellency. The Enlightened has heard my prayers.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went north to continue their research in some swamps. But they must have encountered problems. Brother Fidelis came back here, and he was in a dreadful state. He most likely came to seek help, but he fainted. It's impossible for us to know what happened to them.
I'm not a doctor, but I may be able to examine him.
Oh, please do. Any help would be appreciated. We've done our best, but our magic has proved inefficient. And the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too late from San Matthias.
This man is burning up with fever, and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows. The flesh is swollen around the bites. Perhaps the creature that bit him was venomous. Have you tried giving him any anti-poison?
Of course, but to no avail. And what if it were a hex cast by the heretics?
No matter what happens, you always suspect them.
Why, of course. The savages are always to blame. The man was in the swamp. There are some rare animals there, and their venom is terrible. A healer from the area will know the antidote.
We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who understands remedies.
On Olmanawi, I heard. Yes, and you
I need your advice. You may already know that one of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning, but the anti-poisons we gave him had no effect. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp, and we're looking for a healer who would know of a suitable antidote.
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Our neighbors did not think for one moment that we could be helpful. Alas, our Donegad is one of the exiles. But Vindwal knows plants well. She will know.
Thank you. I will go see her. I hope she agrees to help us. I have to go.
Loik!
Here you are again. What do you...
I have come to ask for your help. Lair told me you know about remedies.
I do know a few of them. I have learned about plants.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition. Apparently he was bitten by a creature of the swamp.
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about this affliction. He will die if he does not receive proper treatment.
Do you know which antidote should be given to him?
Yes. These priests are idiots. They could have asked for our help, but they treat us like children. You are different. And you have allowed my son to join a new clan. So, I will give you the potion to cure the priest. Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Where am I?
You are in Eden. You're safe.
Was I unconscious for a long time? The other members of the expedition, they are in danger. The swamp is so hostile. We weren't prepared for it. Some of our people have disappeared.
What caused these wounds?
A nightmarish creature. The swamp is full of them. A colleague and I had left to fetch some help when we were attacked. I managed to run away, but I don't know what happened to him. As for those who are at the camp, you must go help them.
Show me the location of your colleagues on the map. I will join them.
There. Please.
Thank you.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
I need help.
I do not remember there being a path in this place the last time we came.
Indeed. It was probably cleared by the expedition. We should follow it if we want to find them.
Did was bring you to the place of...
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you. You arrived right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is all your fault. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that scene. My relations with Virgil have always been difficult. But ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid we may need an arbiter.
Before anything else, I need to know what led to this situation between you.
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it, especially under my supervision. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. The rest did not matter. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets, it became even worse.
Were they also written by Saint Matthias?
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some patterns, some islander symbols. It's fascinating. But what really angers Virgil is the content we managed to decipher. Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders, something our brother cannot accept. He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake, forged by the natives themselves.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes, that's why he left along with Father Orbricus to fetch some help. 3 more of our colleagues are missing, and I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I underestimated the hardships we would encounter. I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly. But Virgil's being disingenuous does not help.
And no one has searched for those who are missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but someone later convinced me that it presented too much of a risk. Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and creatures swarming the area.
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information, but you understand that I will also have to talk to Brother Virgil.
Of course, that's understandable. You must hear us both before you can make a decision.
Brother Virgil.
What do you want?
Can you explain to me what caused such a quarrel?
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. This woman should never have been the supervisor of our team. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want to stop the research. She organized this expedition in a hurry, without taking elementary precautions, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets, without doubting them for even 1 second.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly written by Saint Matthias, but their content is so absurd that they were obviously forged. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified their content.
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write.
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. It was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night. I am certain that they are responsible for the death of our colleagues.
That's strange. There aren't many villages around here.
There aren't any. There are a few hermits, but they are not fighters. And they have better things to do than roam around their camp at night.
We have been in this region before, and the only native we met was a little insane but would have been incapable of killing several priests.
Those savages may very well have been following us since our departure. We will not be safe on this island until it is entirely converted.
I see. So, you haven't tried to find your colleagues?
So we can die as well? I am not as crazy as Sister Eugenia.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And, in any case, it is not what matters the most. Even if you think they are dead, we have to try finding your colleagues.
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, I can only commend you for your bravery and wish you luck. But I would not get my hopes up. You should start by searching the excavation site. To get there, take the path south of here. But be careful. The creatures that roam the area are ruthless.
This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
No. Look, it may be what someone wanted it to look like, but his wound was inflicted with a weapon. He was struck in the back of the head, from behind, with a mace made of metal, not stone.
This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace. And it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body show that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death. This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace. And it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body show that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death. This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
No. Look, it may be what someone wanted it to look like, but his wound was inflicted with a weapon. He was struck in the back of the head, from behind, with a mace made of metal, not stone.
The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he had died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it's impossible to know who was wielding it.